everybody, it's MoNaCo here.
And Milks,
We are in, I don't know, maybe our 8th video?
something like that,
Getting
7,
close,
8.
Right, yeah.
We're cruising.
And we're on some pages, 25 in our packet. Compare properties of ionic and covalent compounds.
Right, so we learned to name them and draw them, and now
Cancel
basically,
the charges.
yep, now how do they act?
Yeah, and then we've been saying this stuff all along, so
Yeah.
we're going to feel like we're broken records repeating ourselves.
Yep, but that's all right, let's do it.
Cool. Comparing and contrasting compounds that are ionic versus compounds that are covalent. So physical properties. These are the 6 that we like to talk about.
Sure.
Conductivity.
Number 1 important.
Yeah, because this tells you the difference between ionic and covalent. The heartbeat.
Yep. Ionics conduct in solution and covalents do not.
And we're talking about conduct electricity because the ions, once they're in solution, they can move around, and electricity is about moving electrons, so it's kind of like a cascade effect thing.
Right, and you were pretty adamant the last videos that conduct has nothing to do with produce. Just
Yeah.
allows it to happen
Yeah.
if I supply it with electricity.
When I plug a plug into the wall, it's pushing electrons in through one of the prongs and sucking them back out through the other, moving through the circuit.
Yep, flow.
Yeah.
That's right. Malleability. So if something is malleable, that means I can pound it flat
Into a sheet.
so
Shape
that's
it.
just metals.
Yeah, this isn't even ionic or covalent. It's strictly metallic things
Yep.
are malleable.
Yep, throw that in there, keep up to pace with some of those vocab words.
Solubility. Most ionics dissolve in water. Some covalents do as well. Has to do with something we haven't talked about yet, which is molecular polarity.
That's coming up
But ionics dissolve in water.
a little bit more readily.
Yeah, like very quickly, very easily, and all ionics to some extent will dissolve a little bit in water, even if it's
Right.
only just a couple 2-3 atoms.
Right, we won't go deeper in that till solutions unit, and we'll start to figure out which ones do and don't.
And we say that ionic compounds are soluble,
Basically,
and covalent compounds are insoluble
for the most part.
for the most part. So that term, soluble, insoluble, we'll see
Yeah.
that again later on in
Sure.
this year.
Hardness. Ionics are hard relative to covalents. So comparing one to the other, ionics are hard and covalents are soft, even though, covalents are not as soft as my pillow.
Right. And ionics have high melting and boiling points.
Right.
Covalents are low. These 3 properties, hardness, melting, and boiling point, are all related to the strength of the forces between the ions versus the strength of the forces between the molecules.
Right.
Molecules have weak forces of attraction between them relatively
Yeah,
compared to the
they
ionics.
generally don't have these things on the ends where they can hook onto each other as good.
They don't have positive and negative charges to
Yeah.
attract. Whatever they do have is momentary, if at all, and not very strong compared to the ionic.
That's right.
It's always a comparison. It's a spectrum here, people.
Right. Yep. All right, so let's do a little quick Venn diagram.
Venn diagram.
Venn diagram, I got covalents on the left, ionics on the right. We'll go through properties of covalents real quick.
Draw your little pictures in there too.
Oh, yeah.
So good job finding those, Mr. Milks.
Oh, no problem. The salt didn't fit in there perfect, but I like that's the same one from the packet, so
Yeah.
that's good. All right, so real quick, covalents are always 2 nonmetals.
Yep.
They are non-conductive. No matter what I do to them, I'm not going to get them to conduct electricity ever. Okay, nonmetals, non-conductive. They have low melting points and boiling points because they don't hold together very
You
strong.
could also put in here liquids or gases usually.
Oh yeah, sometimes yeah.
Usually liquids or gases. There are plenty solid ones too, but
Mostly.
the simple ones that we talk out, the small molecules, tend to be liquids or gases.
Yep. And they're relatively soft.
Right. You can squish and crush. My turn for ionics. Let's see, it's a metal plus a non-metal type element. So something that becomes a positive ion, a metal, and a non-metal, something becomes a negative ion. They've traded electrons. They are conductive when in solution or when melted, but at very, very, very high melting points.
Yep. In solution is the one we see the most, though,
Right. You put a little bit into water, it lets the water conduct electricity like it was a wire.
Yep. You guys need to see that in lab too.
Like I said, high melting point and boiling point, and comparatively hard. These make crystals that are tough to crush. They are crushable, but they're comparatively hard to the.
There you go. Now, some of the things they have in common, of course, they are stable.
Why?
Well, I think they're stable because they have filled their full valence shell in one way or another.
Right. So the metals do that by losing the outer electron, and the inner valence kernel shell is full.
Now that we talk about this valence shell, I think I forgot something, Mr. MoNaCo.
Oh no.
Yeah, so here's one of the most important pieces, right?
Oh my God. It's yours.
Let's do this one in red. So in covalent structures, we share
Electrons. Boom. Huge.
It's huge. I don't even believe I forgot this. And then in ionics, we completely transfer electrons.
Circle
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
Add
Throw those in
that.
there,
My
guys.
goodness. Good
Yeah, that's
point.
huge.
Good catch.
That's huge, guys. And of course, we're bonded compounds.
We call covalence compounds, we call ionic compounds. These are all compounds. A compound is a combination of different things.
Two or more different elements.
Right, that have gotten together to become stable by filling their valence shell however they could.
Happy.
Yep. So, that's it. Know the difference between ionic and covalent. You got to memorize these things.
Seriously. Guys, transfer and sharing are the two testable words.
Mm-hmm.
Transfer and sharing. One transfers, one shares.
All the other things are facts that you should remember so you can quickly and easily identify a chemical compound having certain properties from the chemical formula.
It's either ionic or covalent.
Look at a formula, I can predict certain things about how it's going to behave. That's
the name
important
of the game.
science.
That's it. Predictability.
Thanks for watching.
See ya!